The minute they found something, they latched onto it. It's like, I get it, I'm not
Okay.
discounting the feelings,
So they were finishing
if you
that
go
up.
into a situation looking for a reason.
I apologize.
The other one went down at central office. So the staff.
You know, as many times as I've
Yeah, it's still, I mean, I still.
Welcome, everyone. If you would please rise for our pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could just take a moment to have a moment of silence for the victims of September 11th. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Roll call.
Veronica Bates.
Present.
Stephen Barry.
Present.
Noreen Poitras.
Here.
Suzanne Salisbury.
Here.
Beth Schultz.
Present.
Vice Chair Mike Popovic.
Present.
Chair Suzanne Joyce will be late. Student Garcia Beretti.
Here.
Great. We have some adjustments to the agenda. There's a couple notes and communications which were passed down. We're also adding 12.1.7 for a Latin teacher 1 year only at Westbrook High School. Also in your package, you'll find the approval of last month's minutes. So approved. Any questions on those? Great. Okay, on to communications and correspondence.
Those are in your packets.
And those are in the packets. Nothing else to
Mike,
add
can
there.
I just ask a question?
Yes.
We were handed something earlier about a kindergarten teacher. Veronica had mentioned that we weren't able to do that. Can we just talk a little bit about that? I was just a little confused.
Sure, we'll bring that up when we talk about the teacher nominations. So or do you want to talk about that now?
If we had it, we'd have to adjust the agenda, so at whatever point.
Okay. Well, let's add
Agenda.
12.5, discussion about a kindergarten teacher. Student council reports.
So at the high school, students are transitioning from summer to school mode swiftly. Some current juniors and seniors are currently a part of USM's Early Studies Aspirations program, allowing them to take classes at USM and receive college credit as well. The Drama Club has announced they will be doing a musical this fall, and WHS's NHS will be having their annual blood drive at the high school in October, so be on the lookout for sign-ups because it's helping out a good cause. Students have created an environmental and sustainability club within the high school to create a more informed and greener school community for Westbrook, seeing as our world is quite honestly dying. Alongside that, students have been working to create a Black student union that will hopefully be up and running in the next week, with the target of providing a more supportive space for minority students at Westbrook High School. And in sports, golf has a match tomorrow at Gorham, and field hockey will be home against Marshwood, followed with football playing this Friday at home against Kennebunk. And at WRVC, all staff received suicide prevention training and certification, as well as mental health first aid certification during the beginning of school. and with the exception of computer science and multimedia, social services, and computer repair, all classes at WRVC are full and many still have waitlists. And WRVC is also looking for a heavy equipment operations instructor, so if you can do that, it'd be lovely. And WRVC's open house is October 2nd from 6 to 7 p.m., and all are welcome. That's it.
Great, thank you very much. This brings us to our first public participation for any items on the agenda. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak? No one? Okay. On to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. In the Thursday folders this week and published to the website, and I just distributed the Teaching and Learning newsletter for this month. I hope that everyone is able to read this and enjoy the information about our schools. And I also want to mention that we have begun using our school messenger software. That's our automated calling software that we use on snow days and to give out other phone announcements. We started using that for our Thursday folders as well this year, and feedback that I've received is that it's a pretty good means of doing so. So I hope that everyone keeps their phone numbers and email addresses up to date so that we can continuously communicate with you via school messenger, not just when we have snowy mornings, but for other information, announcing events, and communicating information. A few highlights I'd like to mention from the newsletter, as well as some things that are going on here at the beginning of the year. I think this was day 8 with our students. We have our full student body here from pre-K through adult, which is fantastic. Our preschoolers were the last to begin, and they began on Monday. So we're full, we're fully open, and so far it's been a terrific opening of the school year. And I would like to thank everybody who's had a part in that. First and foremost, our students. We have some pretty amazing kids who go to school in Westbrook. We have had over 100 kids move to the community over the summer as well. So welcome to our new students and families. But thanks to them, we've really opened school very nicely. Thanks also to their families and to our staff, our teachers, our support staff, our administrators, especially our custodians who have moved literally heaven and earth to move into different buildings. The staff at Sakarapa School has moved in and out of that building so many times, I think they could do it in their sleep at this point. We have done a lot of work over the summer getting the schools ready. Very excited to now be solidly in our new school year. This year, we're starting a series of parent meetings or family meetings about our school safety plan, about safety and security. Each of our schools will be hosting a safety meeting for families. It'll be hosted by Captain Steve Goldberg from the Westbrook Police and our Assistant Superintendent Jody Mezzanotte to give the community and to give families information about how we keep our students safe every single day here at school. So the first one of those will be at Westbrook Middle School next week on September 17th, and it's 6 to 7 p.m. in the cafeteria. And each school will be scheduling one between now and the beginning of November. I would like to mention that we have been working hard to improve our translation and interpreting services for our families who need language support. With all of our documents and all of our communications, a form goes home as well, written in several of our languages, our most common languages, instructing people that if they need a translator or they need to use the language line, they should call the school office, ask for translation in Arabic, in French, in Portuguese, and we will get back to them with a language line as soon as an interpreter is available to translate a document or to have a conference or to have a conversation at any time. So we're working really hard to support all of our families so that we can communicate effectively regardless of language. Our adult ed program is thriving, and we have a new director, as you know, this year, Shelley Pride, and she is working really hard to establish our program. We last year saw a record number of students, over 150 students, and we're set to exceed that this year. We're especially pleased that our subsidy was received in the amount of $40,927 for the past fiscal year, which is paid out in this year. I'm also pleased that our adult ed CTE program, our career and technical education program, is thriving with a variety of programs, including CDL truck driving and CNA. You may have heard a radio spot about our CTE program recently on a few of our local radio stations, promoting our program and encouraging people to get involved. People in the community, I hope, have received a little postcard about our adult education program that was mailed to all of our households in Westbrook. This is in lieu of the old brochures that were mailed out and we found were recycled pretty quickly. This is meant to reduce paper waste, but also to direct people to the website or to our phone line so that we can support people in any way. We would love feedback on the postcards rather than a brochure. So if you like the postcard, let us know. If you don't, let us know, or if you'd prefer to receive a paper brochure, or if you find our website easy to navigate or a challenge. Again, we're really proud of our of our adult ed program. That's really becoming a solid part of the work that we do here in the schools. Last month at our school board meeting, Jody Mezzanotte and I reported on a school-based health clinic that we were trying to establish. We've postponed that presentation until next month because Jody was unable to be here at this meeting tonight. So we will be having a full report on that proposal in October. I'd like to congratulate and thank one of our science teachers at the high school, Amy Triano. She's our department chair in science. She worked really hard over the last year with the Maine Department of Labor to ensure that there were no hazardous chemicals or hazardous products in our high school, as is requirement by law. And Amy worked very hard with our chemical managers, Stephanie McDonald, and our custodial staff to ensure that we were in compliance. And we received a letter in July congratulating us and congratulating Amy and her team on the successful elimination of hazards in the workplace. So thank you, Amy, for keeping our school safe. Our school nutrition director, Mary Emerson, reported to me that we received 2 donations to support students who may be having trouble paying their lunch bills. We received a very generous gift from an individual in the community who is sponsoring a student at one of our schools for the entire school year. Thank you to that individual. We've acknowledged him or her by mail, but I'd like to thank them anonymously but publicly for that kind gift. And also, thank you to the employees at Maine Health and Pro Service, which is on the riverfront area in the city, for donating to our school nutrition program as well to help defray the cost of bills that families may not be able to pay. Just a reminder that applications for free lunch are available at all times during the school year. People can go online and fill out the application in their preferred language so that they can apply for this benefit. If they qualify for that, we want to make sure that they have lunch throughout the entire year. A lot of times families will be concerned about confidentiality. Even online, the only person who handles that data is our school nutrition director, Mary Emerson, and that's immediately sent into the federal offices for calculation. So it's a very secure system, and we really want to make sure that everybody who can access this program applies for it and receives it if they qualify. And it's also allows a number of things to become available to families, like reduced costs to internet and scholarships for high school seniors and other opportunities. So qualifying for free lunch is something that could open a number of other opportunities for families. And as a school district, it supports a number of our federally funded programs too. So you can check with Mary Emerson if you have questions about that. And finally, on Saturday, one of our co-principals at Westbrook High School, Wendy Harvey, gave a tour of the high school to the 1969 graduating class on their 50th high school reunion. It was organized by Stephanie Russell and the reunion committee, and she was very appreciative of Wendy's lively tour, sharing some of the current Westbrook lore and learning some stories from the class of '69. So that just adds to Wendy's repertoire of stories about Westbrook High School, which is just awesome. So I really appreciate them reaching out to our schools, wanting to re-engage with their alma mater. And that opportunity is open to any of our high school classes who have graduated. I don't know if the class of 18 or 19 would want to come back too quickly, but maybe. But we really enjoyed having them here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Ancia. Chair and committee reports.
This is about educational programs, and this doesn't relate directly to the committee. But I did want to mention that Westbrook is hosting a USM event on Thursday, October 3rd, from 4 to 6. And the event is called Sensitive School Practices for Students Impacted by Trauma. And concrete strategies for working with students will be shared. And you can register individually, or also it will be live streamed. And I think that'll be very helpful.
Excellent.
So thanks to Peter for arranging that.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Anyone else? Finance?
Yeah. We had a finance meeting last week, and several of the items are on the agenda for approval. Hiring some staff at Sac-A-Rappaport High School from ed techs and bus drivers, so we'll be voting on that. We had an update on Sac-A-Rappaport. Everything's looking great. Technology is being installed by the tech staff. Furniture is now being delivered within the next 2 weeks. The playground went out to bid, and hopefully all the bids are in by now. So hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have more information on the playground and all that. And hopefully to have a dedication open house sometime in October. And our next meeting will be October 2nd at Central Office.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. On to old business. 11.1, request to reallocate funds from capital improvement to provide bleachers at Westbrook High School softball and baseball fields. Action item, final approval. Veronica?
I move to take in the aggregate 11.1, the request to reallocate funds from capital improvement to provide bleachers at the Westbrook High School softball and baseball fields. Action item, final approval. 11.2, request to enter into an athletic cooperative agreement in football with Waynfleet School. Action item, final approval. And 11.3, request to approve stipends for the Youth Leadership Coalition, Natural Helpers, and Youth Court at Westbrook High School. Action item, final approval.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone who would like any of those items taken out separately? Sue?
The 11.1, I just have questions about that.
Okay.
That's fine.
So do we vote on 11, 2, and 3 first, or do we pull out one first?
We have to vote on her motion
Okay.
to do the aggregate.
Okay, so a motion to take just 11.2 and 11.3 in the aggregate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep. How do we vote?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Yes. All in favor? None opposed? Okay, 11.1, request to reallocate funds from capital improvement to provide bleachers at Westbrook High School softball and baseball fields. Action item, final approval. Questions?
I had questions, a couple questions. First about, by taking that item out of the capital improvement, and it might be someplace in there, I was just looking, what that leaves in the capital improvement. And then also, are there any sort of fees that go, like, are there any anticipated costs that go with something like that on a year-to-year basis? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there some kind of upkeep, or is there something, anticipated future costs for something like that?
If I can ask Mr. Flanagan to help with those?
Sure. Those are aluminum, so they're pretty low maintenance.
Okay.
And so there's really no other option. We will be able to move them occasionally to mow around them, but that's about it.
Okay. And then,
The first part of the question, the remaining, the capital improvement fund total, roughly?
With the capital, I believe we started the year with $130,000, if memory serves correct. Anticipate taking approximately $52,000 from that for the middle school as part of that cooling coil replacement.
I'm sorry, for the what?
Cooling coil
Oh,
replacement.
yep.
And so then this is the only other major item so far that we've had.
Okay, and what, okay, all right, good, thank you.
Any other
Yep.
questions or comments? Okay, 11.1, all in favor? Okay, that's 7 in favor, not passed. On to 12.1, administrator and teacher nominations. 12.1.1, a Spanish teacher, Westbrook Middle School. All those in favor? 7 in favor, not opposed. 12.1.2, a grade 1 teacher, Sacarapa School, 1 year only. All those in favor? 7 in favor, not opposed. 12.1.3, an ELL teacher, Westbrook Middle School. All those in favor? 7 in favor, not opposed. 12.1.4, health teacher, Westbrook Middle School. All those in favor? 7 in favor, none opposed. 12.1.5, math teacher, Westbrook High School, 1 year only. All those in favor? 7 in favor, none opposed. And 12.1.6, state agency, out-of-district placement coordinator. All those in favor? 7 in favor, none opposed. And then the item that was added to the agenda, 12.1.7, Latin teacher, 1 year only at Westbrook High School. All in favor? 7 in favor, none opposed. Did you have anything to add? No? Great. Okay. 12.2, request to hire 3 special education ed tech 3 positions. Action item, first approval. Any comments or questions? No? Okay, all those,
Would it be appropriate for that to be first and final so that we can get these positions filled, if that's to your?
that's fine. Amend that to first and final approval. Is everyone good with that? Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, question.
I believe those special ed techs are 1-year only positions. It's not stated there. Is that true, Peter?
Yes, they are. So we'll amend that. It's 1 year only.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 12.2 for first and final approval. All those in favor? 7 in favor, not opposed. 12.3, request to hire a van driver and bus aide, 1 year only. Action item, do we want to make that first and final?
You can.
If we can make that first and final approval? Any questions or comments? Yes?
I just want to point out that these positions, I believe, are going to be reimbursable from the state, so it does not
Yes, they are.
come out of our fund.
That is correct.
Okay, just want people to know that.
Great, thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor? 7 in favor, none opposed. 12.4, request to approve an overnight trip for the JMG leadership to attend the JMG Leadership Education Conference at Pine Tree Camp in Rome, Maine, October 15th through October 16th, 2019. Action item, first approval. I'm passing down more information on this as it did not make it into the packet.
You can do. All right, you'll have
Okay.
The 9th is our meeting.
Okay, any questions or comments on that? Yes, Noreen?
What's JMG?
It's Jobs for Maine Graduates.
Thank you.
Who'll provide the insurance?
I'm not sure, Mr. Garrett, do you know?
Let me check. I do have a form about that, I think. I don't have a great answer for you on that.
Okay. If you could just send
I
us.
won't say anything was wrong.
Great. But it is insured. If you could just send us that information,
Yeah.
that would be great.
If you could send that through Dr. Lancia.
What's that?
Send that through Dr. Lancia.
Sure.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
I just have another.
Yeah.
It says that Mr. Strout's going to be the chaperone for 7 students. Are those all male students or any female involved?
I don't have an answer to that one either.
Okay, then if there are any female, is there going to be a chaperone for the female students?
Yes.
It needs to
Okay.
be 2.
Right. But here it stated he's going to chaperone the 7 students.
I certainly can get an answer to Dr. Lancey on that.
Thank you.
Okay, that'd be appreciated, thank you.
Are you gonna have enough time, because our next meeting for final approval is the 9th, and this is, you leave the 15th, is that gonna give you enough time to?
To answer those questions?
Well, no, for approval, for first and for the final approval from us.
We wouldn't have another meeting before this.
No, we won't.
No. Could this be first and final approval? This opportunity just became available to them in the last few weeks. That's why it was presented now.
Right. Well, wouldn't we have the October meeting before this trip?
Yeah,
is
we do, we
October
get the
15th.
9th, but they leave the 15th.
We would, yeah.
We'd have one meeting with that.
That's right,
I'm
that's
just
right,
saying,
yeah.
would that give
Yep,
enough
that'd be enough
time?
time.
That's fine.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yes.
So just want to point out the obvious, it's really hard to approve something that you don't have a lot of information on. I'm sure it's a really great idea that I'm sure we'll get a lot of approval, but it's hard to put that faith into something that you don't know a ton about.
I understand.
You know what I mean? So it'd be good, I'm glad that we do have another meeting so that we can answer the questions, you know what I mean, and have the full information. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor? That is 7 in favor, none opposed. Okay, that brings us to important dates. October
So-
11th.
Say it again, what were you just gonna say?
That brings us to important dates.
Okay, so I thought we were gonna talk about the
Oh,
thing that
I'm
got
sorry,
tabled.
that's
Didn't
right.
get-
All right, thank you. 12.5, addition to the agenda. A discussion about hiring a kindergarten teacher, 1 year only at Congan High School, to be paid through Title I funds.
I don't know.
Dr. Lancia?
Right. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Talk away.
Over the last several weeks, we've been monitoring the enrollments at all of our schools. And at Congan Schools, since the middle of August, since the 12th of August, which was the last time we reviewed before school started, we've had 11 new kindergartners enrolled. So at the middle of August, we had 3 kindergarten classes, all with about 16 students in them, 15 or 16 students, which is within the reasonable range for kindergarten. With the additional 11 students who've registered, that causes the class size to increase to 19 students per class. And that's higher than at the other schools, that's higher than our customary kindergarten class numbers. So there has been a request from Mrs. Brooks to see if it was possible to add a 1-year kindergarten teacher to alleviate the enrollment swell this year. That would create class sizes, that would reduce the class sizes to between 14 and 15, which places those numbers more in line with the other grade levels of the other kindergarten classes in the district. The position is estimated to be approximately $50,000, and we would be able to pay for this through Title I funds. Because we have whole school programming at all 3 of our elementary schools, we would be able to hire a regular education teacher through Title I. There is enough funds through the carry forward from the last fiscal year and in our FY20 allocation to provide for this 1-year only teacher. And this information just came to me at the end of last week after the Finance Committee met, which is why it didn't come to the Finance Committee. And I apologize that it didn't go there first.
So that'll be first and final next month.
I'm just trying to figure out, Veronica had mentioned that we couldn't do that, had to go through finance, and I was just trying to, unfortunately, my access to the policies has been revoked, so I'll get back to it. I can't get in there. Oh, Jane.
It's my understanding that it needs to go through finance before it comes to the full committee.
Yeah, so that's under my understanding.
It doesn't matter where the funding comes from, it needs to go through finance. And I understand the need and the pressing need, but we can't circumvent process.
Perhaps the chair of the Finance Committee could work with Dr. Lancia to hold a special meeting next Thursday and then call a special meeting of the school committee next week, immediately following, for a first and final reading.
Could you hire someone as a substitute until we hire?
We could, but when we add a classroom, it would disrupt all of the kindergarten classrooms. It would pull children from all 3 of those rooms to a new classroom. And I would not really want to hire a substitute until we hired a permanent teacher, because that would be just another transition for the children. It'd be better, I mean, it's hard enough to make a transition after school has started, but I wouldn't want to have a substitute and then the permanent teacher.
Yeah.
So is this just because it's strictly a new position?
Right, it's not in the budget.
Right, we're adding to the budget.
Yeah, we're adding to the budget.
So we'll discuss afterwards how to make it move as quickly as possible.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Can we meeting tomorrow?
I need to provide
Thank you. Okay, now on to important dates. October 11th, professional development, no school for students. October 14th is Indigenous Peoples' Day, no school, central office is closed. October 16th at 5 p.m. is Educational Programs Committee meeting, central office. October 21st, 5 p.m. is the Policy Committee meeting, also at central office. November 6th at 6 p.m., Finance Committee meeting, central office. November 7th, Parent-Teacher Conference, half day of school for students. November 11th is Veterans Day, no school, central office is closed. November 13th at 7 p.m., school committee meeting. Right back here. November 20th, 5 p.m., Educational Programs Committee meeting, central office. November 25th, Policy Committee meeting, central office. November 27th, Compulsory Day, no school, central office is open. November 28th, Thanksgiving Day, no school, central office closed. And November 29th, no school, central office closed. I did not see the October school committee meeting on there, but we will be here.
Yes, we will.
Okay,
That should have been the first one.
right. Okay, the next item is public participation for any school-related matter. Is there any member of the public that wishes to speak? All right. Any announcements? Okay. And our final item on the agenda is request to adjourn into executive session to discuss contract negotiations pursuant to 1 MRSA Section 405 6D. Action item approval. All in favor? That is 7 in favor, none opposed. We are adjourned.